England squad has been picked. The England squad has been announced. So I want to get your thoughts and I want to get your feelings. If people are saying JJ or Mike, that's because JJ sits back like this and talks.
Oh, apologies.
Yeah.
When I got long legs, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's true.
Struggle,
His legs are actually hanging out the bottom. Like they're right out the bottom there. England squad announced so. What are we saying? Shocking.
Shocking. Connor Cody's only in there for 5. Let's face it. I don't know.
That's not the case, though.
No, look. Let's put the elephant in the room right now. Connor Cody, Conor Gallagher, all the Connors, and who else is there? There's another name in there that probably shouldn't be in there. I can't remember. There's another centre back, not Maguire especially, but there's another one. Who is it? Eric Dyer. Oh. No Tomori, no John Stones. No Joe Gomez even. I mean,
Joe Gomez has been poor.
I know, but I'd rather him.
Joe Gomez.
Don't ever tell me Eric Dyer over Joe Gomez.
Yeah, but are you all right?
No, I'm very good in their head right now.
Hold on,
just checking.
I've been playing a back 3, and I get it. He's been playing that system, but I don't want. If we got a Maguire,
no, I hear that. There, but you can't look like people have this kind of like blindsided mentality when they look at like squads. Yeah, you can't look at the individual player and be like, oh, he's playing great, so we're going to pick him. They're looking at the tournament, which technically is only 3 games, because if you don't and get through, you get knocked out, right?
Yeah.
So they're looking. So as an example, great example. Let's start with KP, Calvin Phillips. Yeah, a lot of people had a lot to say about Calvin Phillips not playing. When you think about it, it's one of those ones where what other DM is available? There's Declan Rice. If Declan Rice gets injured, who else plays in that position?
Well, I don't want Henderson there.
Huh?
Don't want Henderson there.
I don't want to see Henderson either.
But I'd rather Calvin Phillips. He might get some a little bit of game time. But Eric Dyer though.
No.
The worst of the two are Joe Gomez and him. I'm taking Joe.
He's had more experience than Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez hasn't been that great for England. He had an amazing season when we won the league. Bar that, it's been injuries, and this season he's been terrible. Bar Man City game, he's been poor. And I'm sorry to upset any Liverpool fans. I'm looking in the camera as well, but he's been dire. He's been
diabolical.
To the point where we played in the Carabao Cup, Phillips looked better than him.
Nah.
The thing is,
did you watch it?
The thing is, I don't think there's been that many controversies in this England.
I don't think so.
I agree.
I think there was this outrageous cry. Tomori is one where you think Tomori maybe should have been there. And I kind of get that people say that. However, when he played against Chelsea, who are not very good at the minute, he got sliced and diced and ripped apart, which didn't help him.
But it's not all about form. But it's not all about form when it comes to an international team. It's about who the manager thinks he can trust, whether I agree with who he picks or not. It's about players that he gets to get with every 2-3 months. Yeah. So the people like your Maguires and things like that, where people might be like, oh, he's been crap or he's not been playing. It's because Gareth Southgate.
No, Southgate's garbage. Let's just put it like that. He only watches Premier League.
But it's the same. Even like you look at other squads, like even the Spanish national squad, like you see like Thiago and like other players there. You kind of have these kind of similar conversations. It's about allowing that nice blend of informed players coming in who's like never really played under Southgate too much, like Ben White, for example, versus players who's like, okay, when I need someone to go to this game plan or someone I can really trust, X, Y, and Z of them, whether they're informed or not.
But see, this is a really good point, though, because I do agree. And this is why I will attempt to defend Harry Maguire a little bit, because for England, I mean, he's been in 2 tournaments for Southgate, and I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's been in team of the tournament for both of those.
Yeah.
He scored goals for fun in Russia, and then he played incredibly well, and obviously we reached the final Euro 2020. So why shouldn't he be picked? Because that's what Gareth Southgate's got to go on, is what he's seen before, which is Harry Maguire playing well for England. And it's like, oh, shock when it actually happens. I don't think it is. I can't defend what he's doing for Man United, but he's not playing for Man United in the World Cup. He's playing for England.
Yeah, I think when you look at...
for you guys there, do you think it's the fact that Southgate said he was picking people on form, and that's how he's going to formulate his team?
This is getting on my nerves, though, KJ.
I'm just asking.
I know you're asking it, but it's getting on my nerves now that people keep doing this. This taking one comment that's been made and making it this universal sweeping statement. Yes, he's going to pick people on form, and he did. James Maddison is there as an example.
Yeah.
Ben White.
Ben White.
He won't play.
Callum Wilson, but that isn't the point. He's picked them on form, right? Yes or no?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, we're agreeing on that. You can't pick everybody on form. Otherwise, you never create what my dad used to refer to as Club England, which is a group of players that know each other. What's the one thing that all great team needs? It's a team that's played together for a period of time and that is gelled. We all say we never want our club signing 7, 8, 9, 10 players in the summer because they'll never gel in time. How could he pick 26 players where only like 3 or 4 are played together and expect them to gel for a game? People are being they're exaggerating. They're being hyperbolic and going, right, how can I didn't want Southgate to take us to this tournament, but the level of outrage people are expressing is a nonsense. They're taking one comment he made and they're taking it to the nth degree and saying if any one player isn't picked using form, then Southgate's a liar.
Yeah.
And that's why he's got to be sacked. And it's nonsense because every manager will not even lie, but if you held every manager account for everything he ever said, then I'm sorry, then Haaland should not be at City because Pep Guardiola cried on TV and said Aguero is irreplaceable, but he has replaced him. Man, why do people take everything managers say literally? It infuriates me.
I think when you look at the centre backs as well for England, though, who's a standout in that position?
Yeah,
even Tomori. We're talking about Tomori. Last season he was incredible, like won the league, and when he didn't get picked for the squad, there was outrage, rightfully so. This season. Has he been better?
Well, he's been better than most players. Let's face it, JJ. Look.
No.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Like AC Milan are still up there in the pecking order. Southgate don't fly out to Italy and go watch these players. He literally stays in England and does his thing there.
No, that's a fair argument.
But the fair argument is how you picking someone like Eric Dyer. I suppose he might be a bit of a different centre back to Tomori, but if you're playing a back three, Kyle Walker's only just come back from injury, hasn't really played no minutes whatsoever. I'm thinking like for like replacement of that right centre back option for me. Someone's got pace, someone that can cover and actually knows the position is Tomori. And I suppose he went for Ben White in that aspect because he's been playing right back, which he deserves to be there. But maybe you can go in as the other centre back spot.
We're forgetting there's also John Stones. Yeah, there's Connor Cody, and then there's also
Cody.
No, yes, but listen, Connor Cody. When you look at player for player, if you had to go and compare them, Connor Cody's very similar to Stones. They're both decent on the ball. Connor Cody started off as a midfielder. So what they offer you as a centre back is in terms of keeping possession, especially when you're playing with a back three. Tomori's not that type of centre back. Additionally, he plays on the left for AC Milan. So if he plays on the left, that means whoever's playing on the left, which is arguably going to be Maguire or whoever, is going to have to go and replace him. And then what we're saying,
right centre back this season. Huh? Maguire's been playing right centre back when he has played.
Yeah, he hasn't, but he's not going to do that for England.
And he also doesn't play in the back three.
Yeah, because Maguire only looks good in the back three.
I think he's poor. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying he's world class and stuff, but as Craig said, for England, he's played well, and you've got to go.
Connor Cody.
At the end of the day,
as Connor Cody.
He has. And if you look at Everton defensively, Tarkowski and Connor Cody.
What did Connor Cody do to you, Kaz?
He's just not good enough.
Kaz, he's not good enough. You're up here. I need you down here.
This year. I am. I don't know.
You literally said before we came on air that you're supporting the Dutch.
Yeah, I am.
Whoa. You're Dutch.
But no,
I've seen you come here, but I've met you in person 5 times now. I've never seen you in a pair of clogs.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. You're Dutch.
Yeah, I'm half.
You're half Dutch. What's your surname?
Taylor, but my mum.
Taylor.
Van Taylor. Of course it is.
Do you actually know my family name is actually Van Dijk.
Van der Taylor.
Van Dijk.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You wish.
No, I swear on my life. It's spelled Van Dijk, but it's not spelled YK. I mean, it's spelled YK, not IJK.
Oh, like Dick Van Dyke.
Basically.
Oh, right, okay. that famous Dutchman. Yeah.
As the Flying Dutchman is here with us, people. Rashford's back in the squad. Right or wrong call?
Right.
Yeah, I agree. I think he deserves a call up. And he's another one of those ones as well where he's always kind of been in and around the England squad. He's a tried and tested player for Southgate. And I think he deserves it. And if he doesn't go, who comes in instead? Who would you have in?
I saw this really good stat. I think it was yesterday I saw it. And it was in one of the papers, which I can't remember. But nobody has scored more goals from open play behind Harry Kane than Marcus Rashford. And I think it's only like something stupid like 9 to 8. There's only like a couple in it. I mean, Harry Kane scores goals. Yeah, fine. But a lot of them are penalties. Let's not beat around the bush with that. It's fine, but it's just one of those things. It's one of those things.
You are right. Sometimes people forget that Southgate can only pick English players.
Yes.
Because it'll be like he's the only player, like he's the nearest to Harry Kane with goals from open play. And then I think people go, but there's loads in between him. Yes, but none of them are English. It doesn't matter if the highest goal scorer is Kane and Rashford's the second highest goal scorer and he's in 200th position. He's the second best English goal scorer from open play. And I also think he does something different. He doesn't want the ball to feet as much. He likes the ball at his feet, but he can also run off the shoulder. We saw yesterday when Man United played Villa that was the tactic against that mid block. And if you've got a team that isn't sitting in too deep and there's room in behind, and you've got to score goals, I think Rashford won't start, but from the bench he could be a massive asset. And I go back to the Euros, the fact that I know he came on, he missed his penalty. I partly put that down to he didn't touch the ball. He should have come on for at least the second half of extra time, because a player like that could have stretched him. And, you know, he should have been utilized a little bit more. So I'm happy he's there. Also really happy that Maddison made it. Maddison has been on fire this season. He definitely deserves to be there, I think.
And let's also not forget as well that Leicester are very poor. And he is the only player in that team that is pretty much worth watching.
Don't say Harvey Barnes, because I saw. I got an argument. I think it was yesterday that Harvey Barnes should be over in the squad over Marcus Rashford, and I said, okay. So if I'm a defender in the World Cup and I see Harvey Barnes coming up against me compared to Marcus Rashford, who are you going to be more scared of? Be honest.
Who cares? Though?
No, but there's also a fear factor when it comes to it. I'm going to be more scared about Rashford's pace rather than a Harvey Barnes running at me. And I was just, and it was so adamant that Harvey Barnes should be going to that England World Cup. I don't agree with that. Unless the squads anyway, you're talking about that.
I mean, I actually like Harvey Barnes. I don't think based on current form and everything.
Good, though, to be fair,
he has. But I mean, is he better than Grealish and Foden?
I think what it is that you got a group of players like in every position in the team where it's just you could chop and change them. So Ivan Toney for Callum Wilson, it's just like meh. You know what I mean? Like
Tammy Abraham, another one you could have easily put him in there, easy not.
Prowse, it's just like meh. So all of these players that we're debating, even Harvey Barnes, is he like, if he's at his best, is he that much better than Bowen? And then he's that much better than
Bowen?
With that being said, are we like, how do you rate the England squad? And how far can they get? Because if we're saying a lot of these positions like meh, if you've placed that person, meh, replace this person,
I'm gonna challenge that. I'm gonna challenge that a little bit. Is when you say about how good is this England squad, are we talking about them in terms of technical players, or are we talking about them as a unit? Because this is a different thing.
It's got to be as a unit.
Yes,
because
I
talking
agree.
about individuals it doesn't make sense. As a unit, how do you feel?
Because see, this is the thing with this squad, 26-man squad, we have got to cover all bases and build a team that we think could go and win the World Cup. It's not about picking the best 26 players. Otherwise, you might have like 95 right backs. That seems to be the only position we've got depth at, basically. But see, this is the thing. If you're trying to build a squad and you're trying to build an idea, and that what Southgate wants to go for, which has been the three at the back at tournaments that in the last two has done very, very well, you cannot go against the fact that this squad has got the capacity to play a back three. We have been successful in a back three before. So although I have to say I'm not too bothered about it. The only name I'd like to have seen in there would have been Ward-Prowse. But other than that, I think it's a good squad. I really do. I don't think we're going. I'm not saying we're going to win the tournament, but I think this is decent.
But I think that's the reason why people, as much as I'm not the biggest Southgate fan, I don't really have a leg to stand on it when it comes to the actual competitions. When it's friendlies and like the Nations League or whatever it's called, and recently we've not been great. But when it's come to the last two tournaments, we haven't actually won the trophy, but we've come as close as we've come in a long time.
He needs to go after this tournament regardless. Unless he wins it, just go. It's time to go for something.
Why though?
Because I feel like we've got this collection of players and there's still players up and coming.
But why though?
Like, he needs to go, like for me, like unless he wins the thing, I think he's just trying to step down and give someone else the reins. When your manager ends up getting sacked, I want Graham Potter to come in.
Yeah, my logic on Southgate, in terms of the overall squad, I think there's a few additional things I would have done differently, but I'm not going to complain. I didn't want Southgate to take us to the tournament. I feel like he's run his course. Very similarly to Brendan Rodgers at Liverpool. Nearly won you the league, made you a much better team, but then there was a time where he had to go, and what a great decision that ended up being. And I feel like England may have gone one tournament too far with Southgate. At the same time, though, there is a little part of me that remembers everybody talking like this before the Euros. And I remember after the first couple of games, Gary Neville got cooked for saying on ITV, I think he said something along the lines of, this manager is he's better than our best player in the sense of he's the most important part of the team. He understands tournament football. Gary Neville was laughed at, and then we made a final. The irony was everyone said we wouldn't get out of the groups. We got to a final, and then they still tried to twist it as failure. And I never really understood that. Arsenal are going through that at the moment. They probably won't make top 4.
Whoa.
And now,
Whoa.
you've just done what Jess does. You didn't let me finish my sentence.
No. Pick another team. Pick another team.
If you let me finish talking. Hang on. One second.
It's a compliment what he's trying to say.
Actually, if you just stop. If you just let me, can I finish?
Yes, you can finish.
Arsenal are going through this at the moment because at the start of the season, everybody said you weren't going to probably make the top 4. You're doing so well that now people are saying it's failure if you don't win the league.
Okay, you can finish.
I can say that now. Yeah, there we go.
Progress.
It is progress, but it's going to be an interesting one. Viewers, how do you think England are going to get on at the World Cup? Starts in just over a week's time. It's crazy how quickly this is
Can I
coming
just
around.
announce something though?
Yep.
It's coming home. I'm sorry. I don't get
hang on a minute, hang on.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, I said I'm half. Don't do that because I got another nationality I won't say as well.
Hang on, you can't. You can't be half Dutch, half English, and something else.
Yeah, there is. I'm basically quarter, but yeah.
It is changing now.
Break it down for us.
Family. All right,
Break it down.
my dad's British, fully.
Is there Irish in there?
Oh no.
I saw the ginger. I thought maybe it's a little Irish.
My dad is actually strawberry blonde. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So my nan's Spanish and my granddad's actually Dutch.
Oh, so you've got all bases covered.
Yeah, but I'm not close with the thing is though, but when
yeah.
it comes to my other side of the family, like the Dutch and Spanish, I'm not really close to them. I ain't seen my Dutch side.
Who did you
about
support in the
5 years.
2010 World Cup final between the Dutch and the Spanish?
Oh, 100%.
You support the referee. You just supported a good game.
You know what? I didn't actually support. I liked the game of football back then. I was supporting Netherlands more than Spain. I'm not close to my Spanish side, even though my nan's a dickhead. But other than that,
Great advert for Ancestry.
when it comes to England, I'm for England. I'm going to sing
There
it.
we go.